My college guidance counselor at my school, the greatest guidance counselor in the world. Even my Latin teacher, who went to Harvard, was like, "Oh yeah, no, I've never seen a guidance counselor as good as him." Yeah, he's just great guidance counselor. He gave like crazy good advice about the ACT and SAT, about why I should take the ACT instead of the SAT. He has really good advice for what to do over the summer, and one of the main thing, and he has a lot of insights as to how colleges work, and what they want out of you. Um, and he's been at the school for I think over 50 years. I know he attended the school as a kid, as an alumni, and he now works at the school, and he doesn't plan on quitting anytime soon. So, thank you to him. I won't name his name just out of respect for privacy, but thank you so much. Anyways, I mentioned he said that he advised on what to do over the summer. Well, summer of 11th grade, he said was kind of like my last fun summer because then I'm applying for colleges and stuff like that. So he said to take advantage of it. He also said that colleges do want to know what you like. He said that colleges care about what kids care about. Okay, so I took that advice to heart, and I essentially just made a list of productive things that I really want to do, basically projects to do. And I have quite a large selection of things. So first, I want to start off with reading. I didn't normally slash typically read that much in the past. Sorry, but I started to. He also said that to help study over the summer and prepare for ACT and SAT, the best thing to do is to read because that trains your vocabulary. It trains your pattern. What do you call it? Pattern identifying skills just out of reading, and reading is a big part in the ACT and SAT because well, you have to read and kind of identify and get used to finding reading all the little details in a short amount of time. Anyways, so I read I'm reading The Intelligent Investor. Great book. Love it a lot. In fact, I actually have it right here. Let me turn on my camera, and you will see that Okay, wait, where the hell is my video capture camera? You'll see that I annotate it like a lot, and I do this because it connects. Sorry, I accidentally turned off the audio input. I do this because it affects another thing that I'm doing. Alright? And that thing is this on the top right. This panel over here. Whoops, this panel over here. Okay, so let me list the books I'm reading. First, I have my 3 summer reading books, kind of like a. Yeah, no. I very much dislike them. But I am reading The Intelligent Investor for Fun by Benjamin Graham. Uh, love this book. First of all, it's giving me great advice on investing, and I want to prepare for my college years and for retirement because, based on statistics, not many people are, and they are suffering because of it. Right? And also the whole debt thing from college debt, student debt. And the other thing this is doing for me is, well, I enjoy it. I really like the topic, and I'm very interested in it. I have a history of banking in my family. Um, and also, I am starting a club with 3 people next year on economics. Uh, okay, so me and my 3 friends, we kind of divvied up the clubs, right? So it's 3 topics: micro, macro, and markets. This will cover the whole section of economics that is really important. Markets will deal with investing, micro will deal with personal finance and creating business ideas and entrepreneurial stuff, and macro is just understanding how the world works because you kind of do need that when you're looking at both markets and microeconomics, right? Because you have to take each situation within the topic, context, and macroeconomics is basically the context. So far, I've been doing most of the work in terms of the club, even though they were the ones who asked me to help them lead it and how do you say it? Founds the club? Finds the. Yeah, well, anyways, I'm founding the club with these three friends, and they asked me to help them found it, and so I am doing so. Okay, the other book I'm reading. So I'm reading The Intelligent Investor for Microeconomics because I'm talking about retirement, investing, and markets. Um, the markets section of the club. I am also reading the Principles of Dealing with the Changing World Order by Ray Dalio, Why Nations Succeed and Fail. So far, I really like the book. I'm still at the very beginnings of it, though. That's, of course, for macroeconomics. I mean, that's what nations are. It's macroeconomics. Okay. And also, I'm annotating each book. Okay, so then we've got the slides. I've been working on the slides. So far, I'm the only one who's worked on the slides, even though they actually, they kept saying, "Oh, I'm gonna work on it tomorrow," without me like. I didn't even tell them to work on it. They just said they would and that they wanted to, just on their own, without me even implying that they should. And still haven't, but so it doesn't matter. I'm just doing it anyways because I like doing it. You may remember my previous slides. I did enjoy making the slides. So I've currently got taxes as one of the first topics, and then I'm going to move on to retirement accounts. Right? It's going to kind of like go into how to avoid paying taxes legally, of course, and um, ethical ways. Right? Like deductible services, like I don't know, donating to charity, and your Roth IRA, your 401k, your traditional IRA, and of course assets like securities and liabilities, stuff like that. Although liabilities is that whole thing is a little bit unethical, but it's not really against the law, and it doesn't hurt anybody either. Okay, so then I talk about different types of IRAs. I don't go into the 401k stuff because I have the sense that that is very specific to the company you work for and who is offering that. Then I show the video by Vox about how the rich avoid paying taxes so that they get some insight as to what is ahead of them. And then I talk about investing for retirement, and I discuss the defensive strategy, which is heavily discussed in The Intelligent Investor. And most of the stuff I talk about in terms of investing is from The Intelligent Investor. And then maybe a little bit of influence from my stuff. So I have, some strategies, some main points, and then I talk about by what you study and not what you know, right? That's kind of like a main rule for me, at least. Examples of defensive investments for retirement: I got a J.P. Morgan, Schwab dividend ETF, and I give some points as to what these have in common, and then I elaborate on it. Diversification for retirement, what does that mean? Well, bad diversification, having an absurd number of holdings, right? Because that stunts growth and potential for growth. But good diversification is having a limited number of holdings, or stocks/bonds, each with diverse sources of revenue, which guarantees they will have, or not guarantees, but it makes you there. It has higher chances to have higher growth. I give some quotes for each of them to reassure everybody that I'm not bullshitting them, or this is coming from like some idiot 15-year-old. Yeah. Okay, so those are the slides. I have some macroeconomics. I talk about inflation, what it actually is, and I do this by I just linked it to Johnny Harris's video. Honestly, his video was so good. Like I really did not need to explain it. Yeah, love his channel. Um, and then I just expand on his definition and his example with actual events, and I just have this kind of diagram thing, talk about Standard & Poor's, and then the next topic is the life cycle of nations, which I am pulling many topics from the Changing World Order by Ray Dalio book. I haven't started this, of course. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is trips and seeing friends, stuff like that. Right before I talk about this stuff, okay, so of course I'm working on the club with 3 friends, so there's that. Playing some video games with some friends, but I try to refrain from playing video games at all. Playing video games if it's not with friends, right? So no video games if it's not with friends, because that's kind of just a waste of time, right? You're playing with yourself, not really doing anything productive, and it just kind of feels guilty that I'm wasting time when I could be doing something fun and productive, right? Um, I went on a camping trip with my family. Love camping, one of my favorite things to do. The entire family on my dad's side, well, not the entire, like, certain portion of the family came. 30 people. Right? 30 people. That's a lot of people. That's because my dad's side of the family is really big. Um, yeah, 30 people came camping. That was a lot of fun. Our yearly cousins camping trip. We're going to London, July 4th. Which is kind of, obviously, that's ironic because we're going to the very country that the United States claimed independence from on Independence Day. True patriot, I am, truly. Um, but I'm going there because my dad has a business trip there, and my family, is tagging along. And I do want to visit, what's it called? St. Andrews College in Scotland. Because I'm looking at colleges outside of the U.S., obviously, and there's a good chance. Yeah, I've been seeing a few friends, but I have a lot of friends in Brooklyn that I saw, and I'm gonna stop, like, going on the subway and stuff, because of the new gun laws that the gun laws that the Supreme Court struck down in New York. So I'm kind of nervous to go on the subway. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, I did. I had a couple of sleepovers. A couple of people came over prior to the gun law thing. Um, anyways, okay. So then the last thing is the game thing, which I have been giving you guys updates on this. I am having a blast making this game. It's taking up most of the time. Oh, and I forgot to mention I'm doing the ACT prep with methodized learning. It's not as fun, but I do enjoy some of the topics, mostly the grammar and reading sections, because some of those have actual interesting information. Like there was one on finance. And financial literacy throughout America. I actually found that topic very good. And one actually, side note, uh, it's been pointed out to me that I tend to do very well in the things that I enjoy, and poorly in the things I don't dislike, such as math is a thing I dislike, and finance is a thing I enjoy. Coding is another one, right? Intro to engineering, I got an A plus. Math, I got a B. But everything else, I got an A. And then, what else? Oh yes, the finance topic. There was a finance paragraph on the methodized learning. I got 100% on the quiz, right? Because it's finance and I enjoy it. So yeah, that's side note. Anyways, so the game I am making, very much enjoying making it. What is this? This is not the game. I just realized that is a project that I was using to learn the libraries that I'm using to make the game. This is the game. Okay, so it's kind of growing in size, the project. But if we run it, I can show you what's going on. So, okay, executing main, come on, load. Sorry. Gradle takes a while to run the program upon first, execution. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I already showed you guys the progress I've made. I have a menu thing, actions, statistics. I actually added a few things since that last video update. And so in the define zones, when I click this, it actually shows a couple of markers. And these are placed in the same places where the X's in the debug menu are. So you can see when I press F3, those X's that are kind of faint from your end, but hopefully you can see them. Those X's are in the same location that the red markers are. And these red markers are different because they are actually buttons. Right, so if I press it, you can see it changes color. That is to signify that it has been pressed. Yeah, and I haven't coded the functionality for this yet, but this will eventually develop into the connecting the map to create zones and stuff, which is kind of an essential part of the project. Okay, so that's just a small update on that. And that's about it. This has been the best summer ever so far. I do want to do a little more playing video games with friends though. Yeah. Now that I'm back from camping at least. And then, over when I'm traveling, I'm also planning on going to Costa Rica to see family. That's great. And Philadelphia to hopefully see family on my mom's side. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. That's it. Summer update. Best summer so far.